You've probably seen those fancy labels that say bottled and bond, maybe an E.H. Taylor, maybe an Old Forester. Sounds cool, right? But what does it actually mean? Today, we're digging into the Bottled and Bond Act of 1897, how it started, why it matters, and what makes those bonded bottles special. Welcome back to Learn Your Bourbon, brought to you by the BTM Reviews Bourbon channel. Part 1, the Bourbon Wild West. All right, let's rewind the clock to the late 1800s. Bourbon back then, it was the Wild West. No regulations, no quality control, just a lot of people calling anything brown in a bottle whiskey. Some so-called distillers were cutting whiskey with tobacco spit, turpentine, or even acid. So when real distillers tried to sell genuine bourbon, the fakes were ruining their reputation. That's when Uncle Sam stepped in. Part 2, the birth of the Bottled and Bond Act. In 1897, the U.S. government passed the Bottled and Bond Act, the first consumer protection law in American history. That's right. You heard it here. Before food, before medicine, bourbon got the first law. And the goal was simple. Make sure what's in the bottle is real bourbon and not a chemistry experiment. And distillers who played by the rules got a literal government seal of approval. So, part 3 are the rules of Bottled and Bond. To call your bourbon Bottled and Bond, you've got to follow 5 strict rules. Number 1, it must come from one distillery. Number 2, it is made in one distilling season, either January through June or July through December. Number 3, it's aged at least 4 years in a federally bonded warehouse under government supervision. Number 4, it is bottled at exactly 100 proof. Number 5, of course, it has to meet all the normal bourbon requirements. Basically, it's like the bourbon version of a government-issued promise that this stuff is legit. So if you have a Bottled and Bond bottle at home, tell me which one it is in the comments. I want to know your go-to. Part 4, why it still matters. So why do distillers still bother with it today? Simple. Bottled and Bond is a badge of honor. It means they didn't cut corners. It tells you this whiskey is the real deal. 100 proof, aged right, and made start to finish by the same team. Basically, you're drinking history in a glass. And here's the kicker. Many Bottled and Bond bourbons are very affordable. E.H. Taylor, Old Forester Bottled and Bond, Heaven Hill, Early Times. Some of these are straight up hidden gems. So, part 5, if you guys want to taste the difference, if you want to know what all the fuss is about, grab a Bottled and Bond and compare it to a standard bourbon at the same price point. You'll notice a few things. A little more heat, a lot more flavor, and a ton of character. That 100 proof mark is where the magic happens. Balanced, bold, and honest. Well, that's it for this episode of Learn Your Bourbon. If you enjoyed the history lesson, hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends, and stick around next time. We're diving into how aging in barrels shape your whiskey.
Max Payne